Welcome back to World this morning with Shiza, Hashmi on such a refreshing and a pleasant Friday morning. As I said, this was going to be a very short break. Well, it was just, I'm pretty sure, less than a minute. But ladies and gentlemen, in the first segment, there was this one thing that we talked about, and it is such an important, a grave and a prevalent issue in Pakistan. There are some high-end brands, and definitely they produce some amazing, some very good-looking stuff. And everyone that I know, everyone and anyone belonging to any segment of the society feels like, buying those things or owning those things, or even wearing in case of, clothing brands and whatnot. But unfortunately, sometimes they're not affordable for a lot of people. So this is the gap where, some smaller companies come in and make replicas of the very same design that the designers have put out. Again, illegal thing to do. But is there a way where we can, sort of fill the gap by legal things? I mean, is there a responsible youth in the country who can probably fill the gap? Well, the answer to my question is yes, ladies and gentlemen. This happens to be right here in my studio. He's someone who happens to be an entrepreneur. He is Umar Qamar from Export Leftovers, ELO, if I'm not wrong. He's on your Facebook, on your Instagram, all over the social media as well. One of, let's say, the pioneers of something this big in terms of e-commerce, because when we do look at e-commerce, this was just probably a decade down that it became so popular in Pakistan. So Umar Qamar it is. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Shiza. My story is when I came back from UK after studying for my bachelor's and master's,
Yeah.
I came back and I realized very quickly that even though Pakistan is one of the biggest exporting nations in the world when it comes to textiles,
Right.
we don't see the top quality products when we go to the local market here.
Right.
And I saw a huge gap. And because I come from a textile background, it was very easy for me to kind of take that idea and implement it, because I already had a manufacturing facility. So with a lot of when it's export orders, a lot of the times we have excess fabric and accessories. So what we do is when the export order is shipped over, we take that fabric, we take those zips, we take those buttons, and we try to be creative and make something for the local market.
Right, using the very same quality?
Yes.
Wow.
So the fabric and the zips and the buttons are for the export order. But once the export order has been shipped, we just take all of that. Yeah, we take the leftover fabric and accessories and create something new. So we have a brand called Polo Republica, which does that.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. For all the people who don't know, they basically have a website, right?
Yeah.
That is how you guys operate. So they produce for some major international brands. We all know Faisalabad happens to be, let's say, the textile hub, right? So they definitely, create products and clothing products. And again, like you said, zippers and, undergarments and everything for international brands. But a huge chunk of that is often left over in Pakistan. Where does that go? Why don't we utilize that? And why don't the people of Pakistan get to use the same, beautiful quality that the people living abroad do? So that is what Umar over here is doing. So Umar, I came across a video of yours on Facebook where you're giving a tour of your factory and everything. But I don't think we can play that over here right now. Can you just give a, gist of what happens over there?
So basically, in the video, I explain about the leftover waste which is occurring in Pakistan. Every year, in the knitted garment industry, we waste about 60 million kilograms of fabric.
Wow.
Which we don't do anything with that. Wow. So it can be like small pieces of fabric, collars, small stuff. But it's a lot of fabric, and we use that fabric to make something cool. So we are utilizing the fabric to make a clothing line. And my angle is that if you really want to start a green revolution, you need to make the sustainable products affordable and available for everyone. So I'm educating people in Pakistan that there is this huge waste and we need to take care of that.
Yeah, Umar, you know what? We will definitely come to affordability because that is what we do need to touch upon. But since today is Intellectual Property Rights Day, I want you to tell everyone out there that the products, that the fabric and everything that you are using, you're not using that under any brand, under the name of any brand, first of all, and you're using it with their permission, right? That is so true. So there's nothing illegal. And now coming to affordability. Let's say if I were to buy something, let's say if I were to buy shoes or even my yoga pants from Nike, I cannot afford it from, let's say, the salary I have right now. But I do want it. It's a need, right? So I will come to your website and there I can get it for half the price. Or like, I'm not asking you the exact price, but something estimately of,
It's very, very, very low because for us, you know, when it comes to manufacturing, it doesn't cost you that much. It's all with the branding, you know. You go to the shop, they have to pay the rents, they have to pay the, salaries of the people. So the major buildup is in the retail industry.
Okay.
So we give you the factory direct prices. We built a small margin over the product cost, and then we sell it to you. But it's still a fraction of the price which you pay at the retail stores.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we say you buy at factory direct prices. That's the whole concept behind export leftovers.
Okay, so Umar, I feel like you just want Pakistan to look amazing, right? Also, so my question is, of course, if there's a huge chunk of fabric left, you can definitely do whatever you want with it. But let's say if there's just this amount of fabric left, you don't want to throw it away. What do you do with it?
So we make pencil cases out of it.
Oh, wow.
So what we are trying to do is we are trying to eliminate all, no waste.
Okay,
so that's the no waste policy in the factory right now. So we are currently working with my factory, my father's factory. We have used about 500,000 kilograms of fabric, and we have gotten about 300,000 kilograms of fabric from other factories across Pakistan.
Okay.
So we are working with about 34 factories.
Mashallah.
So we take fabric from all these smaller factories and bring it to our factory, and we try to brainstorm and think about how can we make it? How can we make something cool?
Wow,
so that's what we do. So we're trying to help smaller players in the market as well, because we buy the fabric. So they don't give it to us for free. We buy the fabric from them, and we give them some money, and then we take them to our factory and do the creative process and make something.
Wow, that is so great. I mean, if I were to think what to do with a piece of cloth that is just this much, I would probably make it a napkin or a handkerchief, but so smart. Are you the creative mind behind all of this?
I think I have a very good team. So we sit down, we have got production guys, some creative people, some graphic designers. So we sit down and we are like, okay, what can we do? So I get a lot of help from the production team because they have been in the industry for over 35 years. Some of the people have been there for a very long time. So they know how to utilize the fabric in a better way than I do. So, it's a team effort.
So you've been lucky with the team.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, great. So since this is, all e-commerce, what sort of response have you been getting from the clients in Pakistan? I mean, the buyers in Pakistan.
Okay, so the buyers in Pakistan, the response has been overwhelming. We have got good reputation, people love us. But in the beginning, the biggest problem in Pakistan is the trust factor.
Yes.
So, nobody really trusts you, So
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, Umar, because this is even my personal experience, and I feel like everyone in the studio can relate to it as well. There are certain pages on Facebook or even that websites. You see, such pretty pictures of something, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is that affordable. You immediately buy 3 or 4 similar products, and when it reaches, you cannot look at it. It's definitely the opposite of what you saw in the picture. You guys are not doing that. It's amazing, but that is where the trust issue comes from.
So yeah, that's how we were the first company in Pakistan, I think online and offline, to offer 30 days money back policy.
Oh, perfect.
So we were the first people who said, okay, you don't like the product, send it back, we'll refund your money. Before that, people were like, okay, it's 7 days, but you can exchange the product.
Right.
We'll not give your money back. And I was like, I believe in my product. My parents have been making textiles for over 35 years. So I know what we are doing. I know what we are selling. So I have complete faith in what I do. And that's what I want to prove, that if you really believe in your product, you should offer like a 30-day money-back policy, or to gain trust, because at the end of the day, you have to help the consumer as well.
Definitely. And Umar, you are, of course, adding and contributing to the economy of the country again in such a huge number, because if all of these products were to be wasted, first of all, we're not making any money out of it. Second, if we're making products for international brands, again, we're just bringing economy to their own country. So this is also sort of a gap that you filled. How do you feel about it, first of all? And for all the companies or the factories that don't do this, what amount of loss are they bringing to the country?
I think I cannot really calculate the figure, but yeah, it's a huge amount of money. And I think if you can use the creative minds, because we are all used to making the fabric, cutting it and exporting it. We don't really look at these leftovers. Leftovers was not really an industry like 5 years ago. So it has started to catch up, and now people are actually, I wouldn't blame the factories, because sustainability in Pakistan wasn't a huge thing.
Absolutely.
It still isn't a huge thing. So people do not look into these leftovers or these wasted fabrics in that sense, where you see it in Europe and America. People are very concerned about environment, pollution and all that.
It's just Europe, not America, I'm pretty sure.
And unfortunately, Pakistan, nobody does
Lags
that.
behind,
But people are changing. So a lot of the factories now are approaching us and saying, okay, why don't you induct us in your program?
Wow.
So no, we are helping the smaller players, and we are taking their fabric and making something. But I would say I wouldn't really, it's a thought process, and it just started now. So I wouldn't really blame the factories, because sustainability actually wasn't a big thing.
Yeah, that's so true. But do you plan on expanding probably?
Yeah, of course. So we are working. So my background is in the knitted industry, knitwear industry. So we are working with some woven factories as well, which make linen, bed sheets, twill pants. So we're bringing in their leftovers, and we are trying to, we have a creative process of expanding the range and making more products out of these leftovers. Yeah.
Wow, so exciting. Definitely looking forward to that. But Umar, when you talk about leftovers, the word leftover itself is sort of, I'll be very honest, it is kind of derogatory. I mean, if someone was to tell me, hey, I bought you a gift from the leftovers, I'll be like, why? I don't even need that gift. So was there a sort of an image that you had to break before you did venture into this?
Okay, so with us, I would say when we started off, we were like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. So it was like a small experiment.
It's a gamble.
It was a gamble. And we were like, okay, I don't want to explain myself.
Right.
So it's export leftovers. It's something which was supposed to be exported but couldn't be exported.
Simple
leftovers.
as that.
But it has no faults. We guarantee 30 days money back policy. If it has a fault, we'll refund your money.
Wow.
So we just wanted to keep it simple. That's why we named it leftovers, export leftovers. That was the whole concept behind it. Now we have changed the name to ELO.
Yeah.
So because we are not selling leftovers now as well.
Okay.
So we are selling our own brand.
So basically you're producing them.
Yeah.
Leftover just means that they're extra.
Yeah,
I mean,
extra,
the actual amount is sent away and they are the leftovers. Well, what more can we say, right? So, okay, towards the end, Umar, a lot of people, a lot of youngsters that I personally even know want to be entrepreneurs, want to venture in something that you have done, mashallah. This is a camera. Talk to them, tell them how to make something sustainable, first of all, and then how to fill in these gaps and serve the country like you're doing.
So I would say, like, if you really believe in something, go for it. But in the beginning, you need to set, small goals, because people normally, overestimate themselves, and they are like, oh, we are really smart. Somebody has done that, so we can do that. And then they set like ridiculous goals, and they don't give themselves enough time. So they'll be like, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire by the end of the year. And it's a journey. So you have to take small goals, achieve them, be happy. You'll feel confident when you achieve those goals, and then take on and then do the next goal. So it's a step-by-step process, and people normally don't look at that thing, and they're just like, okay, I'm just gonna make
shortcuts.
money. Yeah, looking for shortcuts, exactly.
Thank you so much for saying that. That was absolutely brilliant. But very quickly, who is Umar Qamar, or let's say who is your company ELO 5 or 10 years down the lane?
So with ELO, we are planning to just sell Polo Republica, which is our own brand, which is the sustainable brand. And we obviously want to take it abroad. We are already working with small companies in Denmark, and we are trying to take it abroad, like the smaller ranges. So the main thing is we want to make it a complete brand. We want to get into knitted, woven, sports, shoes, everything, because we see there's a huge potential in the Pakistani market, and then there's textile waste across everywhere. So we can use those materials to make a sustainable brand. So that's the thing. That's the 10-year vision for us.
That is great. Good luck for your future endeavors. Thank you so much for being on my show early in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I definitely do feel like I did inform you about a lot of things. I myself am a learner. I learn when you learn. And, I always keep reiterating that when you are Pakistani, be Pakistani, buy Pakistani, basically. I mean, your local industry is so huge, you don't even know. I mean, I personally, I'm not going to name the brand, but the socks pair is made for 21 rupees in Pakistan and sold for 250 euros abroad. I'm never going to pay 250 euros for something that's made for what, 21 rupees. So basically just, I mean, be Pakistani, buy Pakistani, contribute to your country's own economy, make name for your own country. If there's anything you learned from us, please write us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of World This Morning. On Twitter, World This Morning without a G. Daily Motion on YouTube, also World This Morning. And if you've missed this, it's totally all right. You can catch the repeat at 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, good morning.
Fabulous repeat's going to be at
11 p.m.
till
tonight.
the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.
Magla Hills, the heaven of Islamabad. The abode of God, a place where you can explore your soul and meet power of natural elegance of mountains. Spread over an area of 12,605 hectares, the Magla Range, the foothills of Himalayas, are youngest hills with an age of 5,000 years old. Magla Hills are home to around 600 plant species, 250 bird varieties, 38 mammals, and 13 species of reptiles. Magla Range is characterized by many valleys, scenic spots, and beautiful water streams, especially in the monsoon months.
Right.
And we know, like, we used to see, like, Pakistani tele-serials.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
like, it's quite, like, popular in, like,
okay.
Nepal.
That's perfect as well.
Yeah.
So when we do come back from this performance, ladies and gentlemen, we will definitely ask Pavit over here to say something in Nepalese so that I learn something as well. So let's head out to another stunning, stunning performance. So there are 6 performances we have to. Acha, now we should talk. Wow, blown away yet again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure you're enjoying this as well. So do write to us the feedback. Now coming to tourism, one of the things that Pakistan and Nepal has in common are the peaks, of course. And when we're talking about North Pakistan specifically, the geography is typically the same. Yes. So what do you feel like? Let's start with you, Kashif, over here, because you have been a Pakistani. I'm pretty sure you've been to the north as well. Yeah. What can we learn from Nepal in terms of promoting tourism?
The Nepal is very rich as far as the tourist attractions are
Yeah.
concerned, and they are well maintained as well.
All
You know, I mean,
right.
talking about the Kathmandu, the Himalayas.